Rhino first. Rasmus Hojlund, the youngest player in the history of Man United to score in 5 league games in a row. He's really starting to deliver now as a striker for us, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm very, very happy with Hojlund, man. And like I said on the last show, I was on, I think it was the first reaction we did. I think it was the West Ham game. I said, I told people about Hojlund. I said it, man. And I see a few rival fans saying, oh, it's just a purple patch and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, he's on, 5 Premier League goals in 5 games. His confidence is brewing. He's scoring different types of goals. You know, he knows how to roof it at the top of the goal. He knows how to get a poacher's goal like Van Nistelrooy. You know, he's doing all types, taking shots outside the box, placing it bottom left corner. What more can we ask for from our striker that shouldn't really be holding our line, you know? And he's doing the job. So I'm very, very happy with him, man. I do see a lot of runs that he's making that don't get seen. So I'm just hoping we can start working on that as well. But yeah, I'm absolutely happy with Hojlund.
If I can ask a question, because I was talking to some Man United fans, and I really wanted to get an answer from you 3 Man United fans, because there is a talk that you need a main striker and Hojlund should be the understudy, and I disagree with that personally. I think he needs to develop. He needs to get minutes. He needs to play every game because he makes the good runs. He was good at Atalanta last year. And I think he needs to be the main striker. You need to get players around him to serve him, not the other way around. I don't think he needs to be an understudy. I don't know what you guys think about that, because there is talk around the Man United camp that, we need a main striker. There is a talk about, like, let's bid for Ivan Toney and make this guy the understudy. And I disagree with that at all.
Yeah, I'm coming more around to the idea of just have him as our number 9 and let him work and develop, because it's not like he's a slow learner. Like people would say, he's a slow learner because like he's only just started to score goals now. He's a 19-year-old kid coming. Well, is he 20 now or 21? He was a 20-year-old kid coming in from another country, coming to adapt to the Premier League, to this poor Man United team, and yet now he's starting to score goals. That is rapid. That is rapid development. That is rapid development. For people to say, he needs to be an understudy because he's not good enough. No, he's clearly good enough. I get wanting to develop him slowly, but he's hungry for it. He's ready for it. He's physically built. Now, if he wasn't physically built for the Premier League, I would say, bring someone in and then let him develop physically and then let him have his time in a year or 2. But physically he's ready for it. You can see mentally he's up for it. So give the kid the time. Now, I'm not saying don't go out and buy another striker. We do need a backup striker. Martial's body is gone. Rashford can't play up front. And outside of that's all we've got. So bring in an older guy who's more experienced, who off the pitch can help guide Hojlund more as well. And then when he needs a rest, bring him in. But don't just say put him to the wayside because we want an Ivan Toney. If you sign Toney, cool. I'm gonna argue.
He's a good player, like Hojlund. I don't know why people keep saying because he missed some. Like, listen, it's hard to adapt to the Premier League, isn't it? It's very hard to adapt to the Premier League. I watched him at Atalanta, looked all right.
I'm coming around to it as well. And this is it's about creating chances. So I just looked at these stats while you gents were talking. So we look at today. He had 2 shots in the game, scored a goal. Against did that. Against Spurs, 1 shot, 1 goal. 1 goal. Against Wolves, 2 shots, and he scored the goal. Against West Ham, 2 shots, and he scored a goal. So if you actually add that up, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's seven shots and 5 goals in his last few games. My view is we still need to create more for him. I still don't think we're creating enough clear-cut opportunities for him in a game. If we could create an extra, just 2, his conversion rate is now starting to creep up where I expected it to be. His overall play is good. His movement is fantastic. And what I love about this kid, again, is his mental strength, because he could have drowned at the age of 21 having to lead this line, and he's worked on it. He's kept a smile on his face, and he's got better and better and better throughout the course of the season. By the end of this campaign, the on-the-job learning and experience that he has gathered is going to pay dividends for us. Now, I think we should buy an older striker. But maybe now we're getting to a stage where if he continues to score like this, you don't need to look at dropping £120 million on one. Yeah. Maybe you go and find a striker who's 28 or 29 that you can maybe pick up for 40 or 50 million. And that's the understudy, someone that can push him. Maybe then you use that money to improve the midfield so you have more control of the ball, so you create more opportunities. There's still, and what I love is, again, the stat today, still a long way for this guy to go, but this stat is potent. The youngest player ever in United's history to score in 5 league games on the bounce. It's a crazy stat.
It,
when you think of Ronaldo and Rooney and the age, the likes of Best and whoever else it was, when they were here at the club as young men, none of them ever did that. It shows how great a player he could become, because he's not a great player yet, but he certainly could become one. And
I agree. Terrace, sorry to cut you off. No, I agree with everything that you guys said. I agree with. I've always had faith in Hojlund as well, just to add context to where it's coming from. But it's more of a thing where if he does start going, like what you guys are saying is right. He's on a momentum. He's brewing as he's playing, so it's perfect for him to. He knows how to take the pressure. He's got the perfect mentality. So as he's playing more games and he keeps scoring, he can lead the line. Which is very true. My concern is if he does start going for a rough patch or he starts to lose form, we need someone there to cushion him. But it's true though. He's starting to change a lot of people's minds in terms of holding the line as a Manchester United striker. So
something here that is interesting. He's going with a rough patch. We need somebody else. I actually don't believe that's right in football. I don't believe that every player in every team that goes to a rough patch, we need to have another guy. I think the players around him need to step up to help him, because not every player will be as consistent as Erling Haaland or Kylian Mbappe. You will need people around him to step up. If he goes to a rough patch, that doesn't mean just put him on the bench for 3-4 games. I disagree with that. I disagree that.
Do you know what it is? Do you know?
I don't like this notion from football fans.
No, but do you know what it is, Mo? But my thing is, I use Rashford as an example. When Rashford was played through his form, it still didn't work. And he's much more experienced, you know what I mean?
But Rhino, think about it. Mo's got a great point, because while Rashford's in a poor patch, who was doing anything? The issue was no one else was doing anything. So your eyes are always...
It was highlighted. It was highlighted every day.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I think there's a combination. I still think we need someone to help him. I agree with that element. And an example is, I'm just going to throw this name out there, someone like an Ollie Watkins, who is a good striker that can start some games beyond the... Again, I think Ivan Toney would be another great example, because I actually think Ivan Toney is the kind of footballer that could play alongside him. If you could find someone who's less injury prone, but a bit like, a Gabriel Jesus, a striker of that ilk who's different, where some games you can play the two of them. There are other games where we say, right, you played 5 games in 2 weeks now, Rasmus, you're gonna sit on the bench for a bit. It's having that mixture, which is key, because he is 21. You don't want to burn him out, but he's got a little bit of Rooney about him as a young man. He's built like a fully grown man. Does that make sense? So he's not sort of slight and skinny and everything else, but I think we've got to get that combination right. But I'm just so happy for the lad, because for me, I thought the criticism he was getting, even the way certain Man United fans were turning on him, I could see a player in there. I thought we all could. And the Champions League form was demonstrating that. And as soon as he scored ironically, against Villa all those weeks ago, it was annoying that he missed the Forest game a week later with illness. But said to KJ on the stream, said to KJ backstage, he's going to start scoring now, in my opinion. He's kind of got that monkey off of his back, and the pressure was relieved. And as soon as that pressure went away, everything for him was fine. And very, very impressed with him today indeed. Saad's with us. Saad's a rival. What you saying, bro?
No, listen, I was actually here to join in on a conversation about Hojlund, because listen, at his lowest point in his Man United career, I got looked at crazy because I said, give him to me and I'll get 20, 25 goals out of him in the season. And listen, I saw this before, bro. You could see the way he was making runs. You could see the way he was positioning himself in the attack. You could see this guy has the ability to be a top player and to be a top striker. Do you know what I mean? He has that ability. The only reason why he didn't get to that level straight away is because players weren't finding him. He was playing next to Rashford, who wasn't passing to him. He was playing next to Garnacho, who wasn't passing to him. They weren't feeding him the ball in those positions where he's making that run, where you need to feed him the ball in behind. And yeah, listen, for me, I just wanted to say obviously, because you lot were talking about a striker coming in, I think a good striker for you guys would be Terrace from Porto. If you guys brought him in, as like a secondary striker to come in and do a job when he's there, and to also teach, because he's an experienced striker. He's an experienced striker and he knows how to strike a ball. He finishes his dinner. He's very clinical.
It's already done.
For Porto.
Already done. Inter
What do you mean?
agreed with him. We already agreed with him.
Oh, you've got a deal with him already.
Because he's out of contract.
Is it agreed though?
Yeah, agreed with him.
Because if Man United come in,
I think we'll be too late. We will be too late if we try to get Terrace now. Like
because they offered him like stuff. But anyway, I get what you mean, Sad.
There are
a lot of strikers like that. There are a lot of strikers out of contract. Not very old, not 35, like 29, 30 years old.
Yeah.
They want a good contract, 3-4 year contract. They won't demand a lot of play time. They'll play in the cups, and sometimes they will come off the bench in the Champions League. I get what you're saying, Sad. Yeah. I think that, but I'm not buying into this notion that because you have a young striker, you'll need another striker and he has to be the understudy. What is this? When Rooney came to Man United, he freaking played and balled when he was young. A lot of players did that, and I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah,
Rooney's special though, man.
Yeah, but what I mean is that I am giving an extreme example.
Rooney had Ruud van Nistelrooy 2 years.
But he played Rooney, didn't he?
Yeah, he did play him. But the point is, there was Ruud van Nistelrooy was at the football club. Louis Zaha was at the football club. Alan Smith was at the football club. So there was an abundance of strikers that were at Man United at the
always
same
have strikers.
I don't think we're saying bring in a better. Like I agree. I don't think we need to go and spend the money on Victor Osimhen. However, we need some more. We can't have one. We've got one striker at the club essentially because Anthony Martial's made of biscuits. We need some backup for him in those areas, just to support him, really, just for some rotation, if that makes sense. I think we need to do that.